Hi, I'm Emily.
Hi, I'm Alan.
Interaction is an essential component of online courses, blended courses, and certainly face-to-face courses. Interaction is actually difficult to avoid in a face-to-face or blended course, but remains a distinct challenge in an asynchronous online course.
One way to foster interaction between online students is through the use of discussion forums. There are innumerable ways to structure productive discussions. Today, we will provide some suggestions to improve the conversation as well as some common pitfalls.
We'd like to highlight 3 essential variables for effective discussions: a relevant prompt and purpose, clear guidelines for response and replies, and instructor participation. We'll talk about each of these in detail.
The first and perhaps most important decision to make and then communicate is the goal of the discussion.
One common pitfall is to place a discussion board in a course with the sole purpose of generating a sense of community. While it's a nice thought, it will usually feel forced and result in little, if any, communication.
Instead, ask yourself, how does this forum meet the objectives of the course? Is the goal for students to share ideas or to practice applying their knowledge of the content? What do you want your students to get out of the discussion? And what do you want to learn yourself?
Answering these questions will help to determine the number of required posts, whether or not replies will be required and how many, and the nature and style of the prompt, which we will turn to next.
Since you may have 20 to 30 students in the discussion, the prompt needs to provide room for thought from 20 to 30 individuals.
Ideas for prompts include opinion questions, backed up with class material, of course, or ask for examples of application, perhaps personal examples, or ask for reflection on how and what's been learned. The key is to avoid questions that have one correct answer or any correct answers.
The post-first mode in discussions in Angel might also assist in the encouragement of original thought, since students can only see their posts after posting themselves.
With a purpose articulated, it's important to establish and communicate clear guidelines for posts and replies. Be sure to address expectations for length and structure as well as content. Providing examples of good versus inadequate posts and replies is one way to communicate your expectations.
You might also consider assisting students in formulating productive replies. Give them a few lead-in phrases to help them focus and move the conversation forward. We'll post a few examples in the show notes.
But before we do, let's talk about your own involvement in the discussion. One common instructor pitfall is to join in a discussion with a definitive post. It's a surefire way to end the conversation. A good rule of thumb is to never post an answer to your own prompt. Instead, encourage students to explore the ideas presented in their posts and replies.
And that's pretty much where the rules end and variation begins. Some faculty will reply to every student's post, pushing them along for more and deeper analysis.
Other instructors post only at the end of the discussion to summarize the thoughts and any points that may have been ignored or missed.
It's not uncommon to think of the instructor as a guide or a moderator. If the instructor is too involved, students may feel less open about sharing their ideas. If the instructor is not involved enough, students may feel lost and the discussion could wander way off topic.
The best may be a happy medium, but your participation will certainly be related to the purpose you choose before setting up the conversation. If your goal is to find and share resource materials, then perhaps you can be part of the group in a large way.
Bottom line, there's no one right way to have a discussion in your course. As long as the discussion has a purposeful and relevant goal, clear instructions and expectations, and is appropriately guided to its destination, productive interaction can be part of your online course.
Thanks for the discussion.